Welcome back to another TSW suggestion video. Today I'm suggesting the 8th Avenue line or the A, C, and E trains of the New York City Subway for Train Tomorrow 2. If you want to see the 8th Avenue line or the New York City Subway in general in TSW2, like the video and click the link in the description of the video to go to the forums and show DTG that you want this route. The 8th Avenue line, which consists of the A, C, and E trains, is a trunk line of the New York City Subway. It was opened in 1932 as the first line of the IND, or the Independent System, which eventually merged with the IRT and BMT to create what we know of today as the New York City Transit Authority. The actual 8th Avenue trunk line runs between Inwood 207th Street to High Street, while the actual lines that run along it go further. The A train, also known as the 8th Avenue Express, runs between Inwood 207th Street in Manhattan to Lefferts Boulevard, Far Rockaway Mott Avenue, and Beach 116th Street, all in Queens. It has 44 stations during the day and 62 stations during late night service, and it runs for a total of 32 miles, making it the longest line in the whole system. The A train has a unique service pattern, as it runs express all the way from Washington Heights 168th Street in Manhattan to Euclid Avenue in Brooklyn. During late nights, A trains run local across the whole line. They also stop service to Lefferts Boulevard during late nights. During rush hours, some A trains will run all the way to Rockaway Park, Beach 116th Street. The C train, also known as the 8th Avenue Local, runs between Washington Heights 168th Street in Manhattan to Euclid Avenue in Brooklyn. It runs for a total of 19 miles and has 40 stations. During late nights, C trains stop all service, causing A trains to take over local service. The E train, also known as the 8th Avenue Local, runs between Jamaica Center, Parsons Archer in Queens, where it would connect with the LIRR-DLC, to the World Trade Center station in Lower Manhattan. The E train runs for about 15.5 miles and has 36 stations. The E train has a unique service pattern, just like the A train, as it runs express in Queens between Forest Hills, 71st Avenue, and Queens Plaza. During late nights, E trains will stop at all intermediate stations. During rush hours, some E trains will run from World Trade Center up to Jamaica 179th Street via the F line, and during evenings, late nights, and weekends, E trains stop at Briarwood and 75th Avenue. The Lefferts Boulevard Shuttle is a variation of the A train that runs between Grant Avenue and Lefferts Boulevard, due to the A train not running to Lefferts Boulevard during late nights. It uses the same rolling stock as the A train, although it does use half-long trains and a different bullet symbol. This train only runs during late nights, and there are only 2 trains on the line at once. At 5 a.m., both units meet at Lefferts Boulevard and couple together to begin regular A train service. Its route bullet is a blue S. And finally, the Rockaway Park Shuttle. The Rockaway Park Shuttle runs between Rockaway Park, Beach 116th Street, and Broad Channel at all times, due to the A train only serving Rockaway Park during rush hours. Just like the Lefferts Boulevard Shuttle, it uses the A train's rolling stock, but since it runs at all times, the trains don't recouple in the morning. Its route bullet is a gray S, and its internal designation is the H train. Due to something we call interlining, the various lines that run along 8th Avenue meet with other lines in the system. It would be cool to see some of these other lines as AI services to make the route more convincing and busy. Between Jamaica 179th Street and Queens Plaza, F trains would be seen running alongside the E train on the express track. Between Queens Plaza and Forest Hills 71st Avenue, R trains would be seen running on the local track. Between 5th Avenue 53rd Street and Forest Hills 71st Avenue, M trains would be seen running on the local track. Between 145th Street and 7th Avenue, B and D trains would be seen running along the express track and local tracks alongside the A and C trains. Luckily, all of these other lines use the same rolling stock as the A, C, and E, so the only work required would be to program the services. The rolling stock used along the 8th Avenue line and the other lines that share parts of the A, C, and E consist of the R46, R68, R68A, R160A-1, R160A-2, R160B-1, R160B-2, and the R179. This may sound like it's a lot of trains, however most of these are just subclasses and share minimal differences from their parent class. The R46, built by the Pullman Standard Company, is currently the oldest part of the fleet in revenue service on the mainline system. This may become incorrect information in the event of another R179 failure, in which the R32 and R42 will restore their titles as the oldest part of the fleet in service, with them being built in the mid to late 60s. The R46s were built between 1975 and 1978 and were refurbished between 1990 and 1992. These units' design was heavily based off of the R44s currently used on the Staten Island Railway, although they did have some differences in the exterior design and the hull integrity of the units. Each car is 75 feet long and they are ran in two 4-car sets. They run on the A and C lines. The R68, built by Westinghouse Amrail Company, is a type of rolling stock used on the B division of the New York City Subway. They are 75 feet long, just like the R46, and they are also run in two 4-car sets. They run on the A line during the PM rush hour. They will be seen in AI services along the B and D lines. The R68s and their sister fleet, the R68As, are well known for their howling motor sound the traction motors make. The R68A, built by Kawasaki Heavy Industries, is a subclass of the R68. These cars, along with the R68s, are regarded as hippos by rail fans and train operators due to their slow acceleration rate and the horrible braking performance. Despite their early life issues and performance on the tracks, the R68s and R68As have become more and more reliable over time. The R68 and R68As were built between 1986 and 1989. The R160A-1, built by Alstom, is a 4-car version of the R160A-2. They usually run in two 4-car sets. They will be seen on the M line as AI services. The R160A-2, built by Alstom, is a 5-car version of the R160A-1. They run in two 5-car sets. The R160B-1 and B-2, built by Kawasaki Heavy Industries, is practically the same train as the R160A-2, the only difference being the Siemens traction motors and the different door motors. The R160s, built between 2005 and 2010, have major improvements over some of the older trains in the system. They have PIS displays, also known as find screens in New York City, on the interior and exterior of the train, and automated announcements. They will be seen on the E line as playable services and the F and R lines as AI services. The R179, built by Bombardier Transportation, is commonly regarded as New York City's worst rolling stock, despite it being the newest addition. This is due to the many delays in the production, the comfortability the operators and conductors have, and the multiple failures like cars becoming detached from one another in the tunnels. They were built between 2016 and 2019 to replace the aging R32 and R42 fleet. However, some of the R32s ended up replacing the R179s whenever they had a service failure. They will be seen on the A and C lines. Both the R160 and R179 have automated announcements, while the conductor makes the announcements on the R46 and R68. The New York City Subway uses both conductors and operators for regular operations. The conductor is there to make announcements to the passengers, direct them in the case of an emergency, and control the doors. They are in the 6th car on 10-car trains and the 5th car on 4-car trains. When entering the station, the conductor will point at a black and white striped board to show that they are paying attention and that the train is fully stopped in the platform. After closing and locking the doors, a green light will illuminate in the operator's cab, telling the operator that the doors are closed and the train can depart. When the train is departing, the conductor must look with their head out the window for 75 feet before returning to the cab. If DTG decides to create this route, I would love to see a conductor mode come with it, as it would add a lot more playability and add more for the player to do. The 8th Avenue line of the New York City Subway would be a great route to see in Trains Tomorrow 2. With 3 lines in this route and the express and local sections, it would provide players with a fun operating experience and a good variety of services. And for those of you who don't like subways because of the tunnels, I just want to let you know that this route has a good portion that is elevated and at grade, and most of the tunnels are lit. If you want to see the A, C, and E trains in Trains Tomorrow 2, or just the New York City Subway in general, like the video and a suggestion on the forums, and subscribe to the channel. Peace.